Craig Lewis. You've just completed the live recording of The Truth Behind Hip Hop Part 4, The Curse of a Culture. And it's interesting because a lot of things have transpired since the ending of that recording.
Right.
A lot of things that relate to the things you dealt with in that recording. But I want to start out and ask you a question about this whole Ima situation. It's been in the media, it's been dealt with. Of course, we know what the final outcome of that was, but the comment that he made and how it affected us. Can you talk just a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, the comment he made, which I think he referred to the Rutgers women's basketball team as nappy-headed hoes, which is a term that's very common in the black community, but not so common among white elitists. So he was really reprimanded and lost his job behind it, and it's created a lot of controversy, but I think that it's created a lot of good controversy in that hip-hop now is being exposed on a larger level for what it is. Now the hip-hop artists have to answer for reasons of saying nappy-headed hoes being okay in the black community versus not okay when white people say it. So now questions are being raised, answers are being asked for, and from what I've seen, the hip hop artists, they really have no answers, and it just seems like they've been put, on display, like they've been putting women and others that other things that they state in their lyrics. They've been exploiting the situation in the ghetto and women and poverty and babies out of wedlock and all that. Now they're on display and they're being shown for making ignorant comments based on what was said behind them. So I think it's okay. Go ahead.
I'm glad you said that, and I wanted to go into something. Oprah Winfrey, we know the popular television show in the afternoons. Oprah Winfrey has dealt with that. She's taken a 2-part series and actually spoken with a lot of the hip hop representatives or different ones from the hip hop community. I want to talk a little bit about that. One particular clip, and we're going to share that clip, but one particular clip is from Ben Chavis. And he made a comment that I found really interesting. He said that rappers are really rapping about the contradictions in our society. Now, tell me your take on that.
Some people see the youth today as a cursed generation, as the worst generation. But I would ask them not to rush to judgment on this generation of youth. Don't try to lynch the rappers for rapping about the contradictions of our society.
Benjamin Chavis, who is, I guess, the CEO of the Hip Hop Summit. And the Hip Hop Summit is something that they do where they bring kids in and they try to teach kids with hip hop or use hip hop as some kind of tool of learning, which hip hop is teaching kids on its own to be ignorant, to dress like street thugs, to worship or glorify the street life and get money any way you can. And then they come in and try to teach a principle on how they got rich or how they're successful, how they wear suits and ties, and how they're able to walk into corporate America and function, while the rappers that they've made the money off of are walking around looking like street hoods and gangbangers and prison clowns. So I think that Ben Chavis's comments are ridiculous. And the reason why I believe it's ridiculous is rappers aren't rapping about the contradictions of society. Rappers are rapping about whatever is going to make them some money. They're talking about making money. They're talking about beating women and disrespecting women. They're talking about the gang life, the street life. You can't use this whole rap is socially conscious excuse anymore, because now it's all about the club, the party, the drinking, the sex, all this lasciviousness and foolishness. So we can't make these guys helpless little hurt by society fallen soldiers that if they got a chance and the white man would give them a chance. No, we're talking about people that talk about foolishness, jail, and all these things, and if it's making them money, they'll say anything. So I think Ben Chavis is talking with, like the Indians used to say, a fork in his tongue, because he's trying to make these kids look helpless when the real helpless victims are the kids that buy it and listen to it and are entertained by it countless hours a day and ultimately indoctrinated by it.
Okay, well, there were other guests that were included as part of the show, and one of the other guests just happened to be Russell Simmons, which is considered one of the, I guess, fathers in the hip-hop community. He made a comment also that kind of stood out, and I wanted to get your take on it.
And I say this to you respectfully, because I appreciate each one of your comments. And I really would like to be part of the solution. What hip-hop does that's good is overlooked. They've done more for race relations than any of these civil rights leaders you could have on your show.
That comment Russell Simmons made, he's right to from a certain standpoint. Hip-hop has done a lot for race relations. It's taught cops how to relate to thugs with a billy club. It's taught them how to put black men in prison. It's helped with the race relations of judges and lawyers and black men. It's taught us how to get AIDS and relate sexually and become the biggest populations for AIDS and HIV. It's taught our kids how to basically just get rich or die trying. And so they're relating to, the electric chair and lethal injections, and I'm sure some of those are white people. So, I mean, Russell Simmons is right as far as depending on the perspective of what race relations. Now, the thing that I can't ever get any of these guys to answer about hip-hop is, what has hip-hop done that's positive? I mean, are we talking about the music of hip-hop? Are we talking about the clothes of hip-hop? Are we talking about the way the person appears, record sales, the language? What is the positive side of hip-hop? Now, of course, Russell Simmons sees the positive side because they're wearing his clothes. His clothes are hip-hop. He's worth $500 million. So he sees the positive side. There are 20 millionaires that hip-hop has made millionaires. They all see the positive. But if you take these cameras we're using right now and go into poverty-stricken urban America, the black community, you will find the effects of hip-hop. You will see kids that hear music all day talking about just have sex, just get you some, go get it, get you some money, however, whatever it costs, just do whatever. That mentality, and now we have the highest AIDS rate, we have the highest HIV rate. Our kids are dying behind this. Countless abortions in the black community, all of these things, and the black leadership of the black community, they are silent on these issues. They're not talking about abortion. They're not talking about AIDS. They're not talking about it. We don't even want to talk about the church. The church sure isn't talking about it because they're talking about breakthrough, miracle, season, harvest, destiny, favor, purpose. That's all you hear on the videos. That's all you hear on TV. That's all we hear. So that's what I'm saying. We cannot listen to people that are getting rich with the blood of our youth on their hands. So to me, Russell Simmons isn't even a credible source to even ask about hip-hop because his hands are tainted with the blood of this generation because he sacrificed their well-being for riches.
Okay, well then we'll step away. Let's step away from the Oprah Winfrey Show. There's another show that's real popular, and it's for our younger people. 106 in Park.
I thought you was gonna say the knockoff 85 South.
No.
They don't have no money, so they keep showing the same one every day. So
no, 106 in Park.
They ain't got to this issue yet. They still showing last year's tape. Go ahead.
Well, 106 in Park recently had a show, and the guest who was addressing this issue as well was Snoop. Now, Snoop is one of the more popular rappers right now. Snoop had comments that were more directed towards the young people. Oprah's show was more for the adults discussing it. Now Snoop wants to reach out to the younger generation, the teenagers.
Now remember, Snoop did give those comments on CNN.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this particular show on 106 in Park, he was specifically speaking with the young people.
It's a completely different scenario. Rappers are not talking about collegiate basketball girls who made it to the next level in education and sports. We're talking about Blank that's in the hood, that ain't got nothing going on, that's trying to get a dude for his money. These are two separate things.
All right, so when you look back at it, do you still stand with that?
Yeah, but it's a whole, statement that I made that was actually broken into snippets and pieces, so you're not really getting the whole conversation that I actually held. And it was just basically saying that, they try to compare our statements with what he was saying when we appreciate